Hey, you guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee Chat with me, Catherine Oster. We are at the top of the hour. It's 1 o'clock. So, for those of you that are watching this in the future on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, these are originally done on Facebook Live. So, sometimes I get a little bit ADD, ADHD, OCD, and just want to say hi to everybody that's jumping on. All right. We are going to chat about money today. Let me rewind for a second. Again, I'm Catherine Oster, and I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And Access Consciousness is just a dynamic set of tools, processes, things. Hi, Robert! That you can do and add to your life to change or create anything you would like. Hello, I'm so excited I can see comments. I never know if I can or if I can't. All right, today we're going to be chatting about money. And the title I posted is, Are you money's bitch? Or are you making money your bitch? So, and I'm going to talk about this relative to what I know. And one thing that was for me is I used to be money's bitch. I was money's bitch. And I gave money the power in my life, not me. Now, that was my life pre-Access Consciousness, before I started adding these tools and before I got sick of being money's bitch. So that wasn't like, I would always have all of these excuses with money. Well, oh my God, I can't go on this vacation because I don't have the money. I can't buy myself new clothes because I don't have the money. That was a very regular conversation going on in my life. I didn't have enough money and I couldn't choose this, I couldn't choose that because I didn't have the money. Now, there was one thing in my life that drove me actually beyond being money's bitch and into making money my bitch, was having my own indoor riding arena. That was something in me that I desired so greatly that I would do anything I could to have it. And so, and then money is now my bitch. In that, now what do I mean when I say that money's my bitch? Well, when I desire to go somewhere, when I want to take a class, when I want to buy myself some new clothes, and if all of the money, hi Kyla, if all of the money isn't there that I'm asking for or require, I start asking for that to show up, and I start looking for all of the ways and wondering about all the ways that money can show up for me, and it does. Every single time. Money shows up in more ways than you can ever imagine possible. Now that is me making money my bitch, because I don't choose based on the money or not. I'm choosing it, and then I'm demanding money show up for me some way and somehow. Now it's taken me 7 years to get here, but I really realized this last year, I'm astonished at how money can show up in my life, and with ease. I don't even have to work hard for it. So that's another thing that can really slow us down, is we believe we can only get paid for work. Is that really true? Yes, it might be for you right now, and it was for me back then, and I believed that I had to work hard for money. So even, okay, I'm gonna back up for a second. Hi, Kyla. I'm gonna back up. So, okay. I didn't even know you could get paid for doing something that you enjoyed doing or having fun, that you had fun doing. And for me, back then, that was riding lessons and horse training. I was actually astonished. Like, I knew people took riding lessons, I did, but I didn't ever think that I could be one of those people where people paid me to teach them that. Until one day, I thought I would give it a try. Actually, I did take a riding instructor's course, And so I did become certified. So I started, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, teaching lessons was so fun for me, and it came with such an ease, and money came from that. And it blew my mind, because my whole reality with money right up until that point was that you had to work hard for it. And I'm like, my brain was like, this does not compute, because I am not working hard and I am getting paid, and I am having fun and I'm getting paid. And I was like, holy crap. So that right there, and that happened actually in about 2006. So even before Access, hi Linda, that showed up for me. Getting paid for having fun and doing something that was easy for you. Now back then, I was doing riding lessons as a side gig. I still had my real job. So I still didn't really believe that riding lessons could fully support me financially. But then it was funny, because with the training horses, like I had this point of view that you had to work hard for money. So I was also taking training horses as a side gig after we moved to Turtleford, after my husband and I got our farm in Turtleford, and I had a place to work out of. But the horses I made it really hard with them, because I believed that you had to work hard for money. And so I would be exhausted, after working my training horses, and it wasn't actually that much fun looking back, and it was really hard on my body. I was getting paid, but I made it hard work. Now, the more that I started to have different money conversations, and actually somebody gave me the information that, Catherine, what if you didn't have to work hard for money? What would that be like? And I started wondering about that, and things started getting easier with the horses that I had in training. And I'm like, So in comes this other conversation of the point of view. Your point of view creates your reality. If you have a belief or a point of view that you have to work hard for money, or that money can only come from your job, then that is actually what is going to show up for you, and that's it. But when you start to get curious and ask questions and wonder about what are the other ways that money can show up for me that I've never considered before, it will start to show up in other ways. So, and those are the conversations that I started having when I started taking Access classes. Hi, Lori. And so you don't even have to be, that's another really cool thing. You don't even have to take any Access classes to play with this. Like if you're watching this video and you have never taken a bars class or anything, that's okay. I invite you to write that question down and start asking it in your head or out loud every day, and just keep doing it. I'm going to tell you for like a month. Ask that question for like a month, and then start to notice if things shift or change for you with money, if money will actually start showing up. Because you don't have to, like, that's the other cool thing. We actually have some friends of ours, they have never taken any Access classes. I don't even talk to them. Like, we never have conversations about it. I don't think she's ever had her bars ran or anything. And we were visiting the other day with them, and they have been choosing big in their life. So by choosing big, I mean like they really want to have a big cattle ranch and support their livelihood with that. So they've been choosing big. They have been building corrals. They have been buying really amazing stock, like in cattle, stock, like high quality, purebred cattle. And they just started calving now. Now, the fellow, he got laid off of his job about like a month ago, maybe. And that could have been a devastation for them. They could have totally made themselves a victim in that scenario and said, no, we can't continue on. We're not buying anymore. We have to totally quit because of this. This is lost. But instead, they didn't let that stop them. And now we were just visiting with them, and her and I were chatting, and she was like, I'm so glad that we actually put ourselves out there when we did, when he still had his job, because they probably wouldn't have, had he lost his job, they would not have built the infrastructure that they have in place right now to support their cattle operation. And so, but so then he lost his job and now they're okay. And he's really asking, like, I know that he doesn't really want to go back to work in the industry that he was in. I know that they're asking for something different. They've never taken an access class before. The universe, money, other things will support you when you start choosing bigger in your life. When you start putting yourself out there, things will start to show up and freaking blow your socks off and amaze you. So her and I were chatting, and she's like, they might have this other income stream that's just generating. They might be able to start to open up another source of money that is beyond what they could ever imagine. Now, I can't tell you any more details than that right now because it's still really fresh and you know, and I'm like, oh my God, like the universe just supports you when you start choosing bigger. Now, when I look at our life, so I'm going to go back to me for an example. With the riding arena, that was something that drove me. I was demanding that I have the money to have this building because that is what I wanted my life to be like. My indoor riding arena, to teach lessons when I want to out of, to train horses out of, to not be at the effect of the elements outside. Because I did all of that outside all winter long. I rode horses in the snow. I taught riding lessons outside in the summertime when I could, when the weather permitted it. And I was ready to up the ante. And it showed up. When I started getting out of my own way that money was a limitation for me, things started showing up. Now, I've got the arena. I've had it for about 4 years now. And I'm always asking it, like, what else can you contribute to me? Like, it's so magic. And things show up. Horses have always shown up for training. I only like to keep about, you know, what works in my life is 1 to 2 client horses, plus I ride one of my own. I don't want to be a trainer that rides 10 to 12 horses a day and I'm exhausted at the end of the day. That's not fun for me. I don't want to hate my job, but I want to do little bits of it. And so, yeah, it's just amazing what shows up. So when you start choosing bigger, so I also know another example of other people that would like to change their life and get out of town and live on an acreage. But they always have a reason why they can't. You know, they can't because the oil prices are low and my work is slow right now. Or I can't do this because I just lost my job and I don't have the money. I can't do this because I don't have the money. When you hear yourself saying those words, you're making yourself a victim to money and you are money's bitch. But when you have the attitude of, this is what I'm having, I'm going to choose this indoor riding arena and I'm willing to do whatever it takes for it to show up, then the universe, money, you are making money your bitch, and it will show up to support you. And there's a few other pieces to that. But at the same time, what else is possible beyond what you could ever imagine? And it's funny because my whole point of view around retirement has actually changed too. My husband and I, we set up some retirement stuff. Like, so I quit my job in 2013 as an agronomist and just started full-time riding lessons, training horses. And then since then, I've added other things to my life, like a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness, facilitating people to know that they can choose greater and have greater in their life if they're willing to. I've added that to my life. Anyway, after I quit my job, we were like, what are we going to do for retirement? You know, like, because there's that's a really big thing, retiring, you know. And then now, 7 years later, my husband and I, we were talking about it again, and we're like, what do we need to retire from? I mean, we are both, every day we get to do what we're choosing to do and what we love to do. What do we want to retire from? And I now have the point of view that if I'm living, I'm generating money in some way that works for me. So when I get older, like I maybe don't want to be training horses in, you know, 15 or 20 years, but I know that I'll have another income stream set up that works for me because that's just what I know. And that's what these tools and processes have shown me. And so Where I'm leading to with this is, you guys, I am doing my first 10-month money intensive program. It's starting on Monday, March 8th. And we're going to take 10 months for everybody who chooses this program. And we're going to dive into everything that I have learned over the past 7 years to change and have money be my bitch. And so if you would like to choose that program, if you would like more information about it, if this conversation is like tweaking something in you, I would invite you to join me and check it out. I'm also offering like 15-minute discovery sessions on Zoom where you and I can chat about the program and see if it's a fit for you, for what you're looking for. And so I have a feeling that maybe there's going to be another part 2 to this program after 10 months, but I want to take anybody who's willing to make money their bitch. Over 10 months, we're going to look at everything that I have learned and used and apply these tools and processes to you and start to tweak them for you and start to change your financial reality so you can truly make money your bitch and start thriving in your life rather than just surviving and actually going beyond the anxiety. You know, that's another really cool thing that's even shifted for my husband. So again, he doesn't get his bars around. He's never taken any classes. I have conversations with him when I can, but this last year, probably 1.5 years, he doesn't have any anxiety about money anymore. And he used to. I mean, that used to drive him crazy. He doesn't. In fact, so much so that he's choosing to have cows in his life again because it's something that lights him up. We've done the pencil work with the cattle. At the end of the day, on the cattle balance sheet is not really a big positive number. But another thing that I've learned in my life that I have learned to know is that money follows joy. And if you wake up every day and you have a smile on your face because you're going out to do something you love, that's an energy that's contributing to you having more money in your life. And so anyway, we're going to look at all these things over the next 10 months. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. Message me on this Facebook page. I'll put a link with this video. And I'm so excited. This is my first real intensive where I've got all the tools laid out and we're going to look at it. And it might be uncomfortable. That's another thing. Money facilitates you to get uncomfortable in all the ways and choose beyond where you've ever chosen before into something that you don't even know. But once you get through that uncomfortable transition period, man, the freedom, the ease, the peace you can have with money is like unlike anything that I've ever experienced before. And so what else is possible beyond what you could ever imagine? All right. So my question to you, are you money's bitch or do you make money your bitch? And how's that working for you? And you know what? If things are great in your life and you don't want to change them, that's totally cool. Because we're not really ready to change things until we're ready to change them. And that's totally fine. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day wherever you are, whatever you are up to. Thank you so much for watching this live with me now, you guys, and to all of you watching this in the future. Oh, Lori says, who does this belong to? A total game changer. Exactly. And that's another thing that we can talk about with money is like, whose reality are you living in with money? Is it yours? Or is it everybody else's around you? Thank you for the hearts, Robert. All right, guys. Bye-bye for now.